transportation. Our entire mission is safety, to determine what happened, how it happened, and why, with the aim of preventing it from happening again. Yesterday, at about 18:06 Eastern Standard Time, a Learjet 55, Mexican registration, X-ray Alpha-Uniform Charlie India, call sign Mike Tango Sierra 056, was destroyed when it crashed into a commercial and residential area shortly after takeoff from Northeast Philadelphia Airport, with 6 people on board, including 2 crew members. Night instrument meteorological conditions prevailed, and an instrument flight plan had been filed for Springfield Branson National Airport in Springfield, Missouri. The air ambulance flight was operated by MedJets USA, doing business as Jet Rescue Air Ambulance, which is based in Mexico. They also have facilities in Miami. Let me take a moment to express our deepest condolences for all those who were impacted by this devastating, devastating tragedy. I also want to extend our deepest sympathies for all those who were injured in this accident. NTSB investigators began to arrive within 90 minutes of the crash, and I deployed a full GO team this morning. On scene is a total of 17 people with specific expertise in areas of aviation safety, and of course, me as well. I want to say that I have really been moved by the outpouring of support for the NTSB over this past week. This morning, the U.S. Park Service flew me by helicopter up from DCA to Northeast Philadelphia Airport, and I really want to thank the U.S. Park Service because it was a very quick call and request by us, and not only did they fly me here, but they also spent some time giving me an aerial view of the accident site. That support extends to federal, state, and local officials here in the Philadelphia area, and I want to start by really thanking Mayor Parker and her entire staff. We did go over to Unified Command and met with her, met with the 2 chief deputy mayors and her staff, and I really want to thank her for her extending resources to us and for the unity that's here to get to the bottom of what occurred. I also want to thank the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, who has been very engaged not only at DCA with that accident investigation, but here in Philadelphia, and the FAA Acting Administrator, Chris Rocheleau. I also want to thank Governor Shapiro, Senator Philadelphia Office of Emergency Management, Philadelphia Managing Director's Office, Philadelphia Fire Department, Philadelphia Police Department, Philadelphia Department of Licenses and Inspections, Philadelphia Streets Department, PICO, Philadelphia Gas Works, Philadelphia Department of Public Health, Philadelphia Department of Aviation, the School District of Philadelphia, Philadelphia Parks and Recreation, Philadelphia Commerce Department, Delaware Valley Intelligence Center, Free Library of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, the Pennsylvania State Police, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the Federal Aviation Administration, the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and the Fraternal Order of Police. As you can see from this very long list, there is substantial support for this investigation. Now I'm going to turn it over to Ralph Hicks for a few minutes to talk about the flight and then I will return to talk about the crash itself.
Thank you, Chairman. Just a little bit about the flight itself. The flight originated at Opelika, Florida, yesterday afternoon about 12 p.m. The aircraft arrived at Northeast Philadelphia Airport around 2:15 p.m. in the afternoon. It was on the ground for a few hours and departed runway 24 at about 6:06 p.m. And it was, like we said, it was dark at the time and instrument conditions. The aircraft climbed to about 1,500 feet above the ground. We were looking at GPS data on the aircraft, a slight right turn followed by a slight left turn, and then a steep descent towards the ground where it crashed. Our flight lasted less than a minute.
Thank you. So I want to stress this was a high-impact crash, and the plane is highly fragmented. There is a substantial impact on the entire community. The debris field extends 4 or 5 blocks, and I do want to stress that this is an active investigation scene. The debris is scattered. It is very dangerous, and so I encourage everyone to stay out of the accident site. It's very dangerous. You'll see over the next several days, possibly extending into weeks, where we will be collecting that debris, loading it onto a truck, and moving it to a secure location so that we can begin to do our evaluation of that debris. Now, I do want to mention we are still looking for the cockpit voice recorder. We have located the 2 engines, but for the cockpit voice recorder, we are still looking for it. It could be intact, but likely it is damaged. It may be fragmented. So if there are citizens or business owners or others who find debris, please email the NTSB at witness@ntsb.gov. That's witness@ntsb.gov. Now, I'm sure I will get questions about having 2 major accident investigations at one time. We are a highly skilled agency. It is not unusual for the NTSB to be investigating 2 major accidents. We have tremendous resources at both, and we will get to our findings, our probable cause, and our recommendations, and to a final investigative report. With that, I'm going to take questions. I will ask that you raise your hand, that you give me your name and your affiliation. Sir.
Brian Sheehan, NBC 10 here in Philadelphia. Are you classifying this as an accident at this point?
The question is, are we classifying this as an accident? Yes, we are.
Rick Strickland, CBS News Philadelphia. The IIC referenced the slight turn left and right before it crashed and then after taking off. Does that suggest anything to you guys early on?
The question is the path, the track of the plane, that it moved a little to the right, moved a little to the left. It doesn't really suggest anything right now. We just wanted to provide that information for you. Certainly we'll evaluate information as we continue on with our investigation. Right now, our focus is on collecting the perishable evidence, and that is the debris and what we need to take in order to conduct our investigation. Yes.
Mills Hayes with News Nation. Are you guys aware of any debris or anything falling from the plane before it went down?
The question is, are we aware of any debris or anything falling from the plane before it went down? We are not aware of that. However, certainly videos are always welcome by others who have taken them. We've seen a number of them online. But please, if you'd like to send those also to witness@ntsb.gov. Here and then here.
How helpful have neighbors or business owners been investigation? Have you talked to a lot of them?
The question is, how helpful have neighbors and business owners been so far in this investigation? So today is our first full day for us as part of this investigation. Certainly our other partners here have been speaking with businesses and residents, but not at this time. We may eventually. Yeah. Here and then here.
Brianna Smith at 6 ABC. Earlier today, city leaders mentioned that there was a remote area with debris where something happened with the aircraft. So can you elaborate on that?
The question is on a comment that was made earlier about a remote area and something happening with the aircraft. I haven't seen that comment, so at this time I can't comment on it, but at our next press briefing we'll evaluate it. Yes.
Jonathan Kersley from Channel 9 Australia. You touched on it briefly before. You're dealing with two major accidents now, two major collisions in the space of a couple of days. How do you deal with that?
The question is, how do we deal with two major collisions in a span of days? We are a very small federal agency. Most people aren't aware that we only have 436 employees at the NTSB, and that spans all modes of transportation. For aviation safety, we have a number of investigators because our mandate is to do quite more than the other modes of transportation, where we're doing every civil aviation accident in the United States. We also do serve as accredited representative for foreign investigations as well. So in this case, we had to have a highly skilled team focused on certain areas that are at DCA for that plane crash, and then we have a number of other investigators that are not on call for that crash that we can deploy here.
Just as a follow-up to that, Chair, are you adequately resourced as an organisation? Do you need more resources to deal with incidents like we've seen here in the United States in the last few days?
The question is, are we adequately resourced as an organization? I will say that over the last few years, Congress has given us more funding in order for us to conduct our mission. That has increased pretty significantly over the past couple of years. However, we do need further increases because our greatest resource or greatest asset for the NTSB is our workforce. And so, yes, we always need more resources.
Have you asked the President, or would you ask the President for more resources?
The question is, have we asked the President? I mean, certainly, our budget for more resources. I will say President Trump has been very, very supportive of the National Transportation Safety Board. I did brief the President this week, and he has indicated his strong support for the NTSB, which we appreciate, and we appreciate the resources we've been given. And certainly in our budget request, we will always hope for more. We'll see what comes. Yes?
I know you said that you're still looking for the cockpit voice recorder. Can you just talk about how crucial that is in the investigation, and then on top of it, the condition that it's in?
Yeah, so the question is on the cockpit voice recorder. The question is how crucial it is, what condition it's in. The condition could be fragmented, could be damaged. I will say we have an incredible team at our headquarters, our Office of Research and Engineering, who have significant expertise on repairing damaged cockpit voice recorders and flight data recorders. In fact, we're known throughout the world. Other countries send their black boxes to us to fix. And so hopefully once we can find it, that's the biggest question right now, we can take that back to our lab and evaluate it. How critical is it? Certainly it's critical so we can hear what's happening in the cockpit. However, it doesn't mean that we can't continue our investigation and complete it. We can. It's just a piece of our investigation that gives us more information. Yes.
Are there any issues or any signs of issues,
The question is, was there any sign of an issue, or was anything communicated from the flight deck to ATC, the air traffic control tower? No. Nothing was communicated. In fact, in the recording that we have, there is an attempt by air traffic controllers to get a response from the flight crew that they didn't receive. Okay. No, so the question is on the black box. It's actually orange. So it's an orange box, but it could be damaged and might not be orange. And it could be in pieces. So that's why we are asking the public, if you see anything, any types of debris, because you may not know what it is, please email us at witness@ntsb.gov. Thank you very much. We will post on X when our next press conference is. Appreciate it.